What's happening? Hello, I'm here. No intro. No intro. I don't. Look at me. I'm all proper, all dressed up. Nice. I don't have an intro for the After the Shame show. So I didn't want to use the Vape at 5 because this is not the Vape at 5, and it's something I wanted to talk to you guys about, something I've been thinking about doing for a while, something that Yeti and I had talked about quite a while ago. We started doing Drop the Shame after about, I don't know, 6-7 months. We were doing it pretty regular back then. We were doing it every other Saturday. We started talking about having a follow-up show on a Sunday and calling it After the Shame. And we were just going to kind of recap what we had done that week, in those 2 weeks that we're going to do it once a month. And we figured we would just like recap what was on the show, what we talked about, our guests, some of our feelings about the show and things of that nature, and do it like an hour. We're going to make it like an hour, like on a Sunday. And so that's where the thought came for the After the Shame show. We haven't really been doing a lot of Drop the Shame, and I apologize for that. And I mentioned back in December that we were really going to go back at it in December. Well, things didn't work out the way that either of us had planned. It's neither of our faults. It's just the way it is. And so I've decided to go ahead and just, I can't do Drop the Shame without Yeti. I mean, Drop the Shame was Yeti and I, and that's just not right to do. It's going to be After the Shame, and I'm planning on doing this at least twice a month. I'll do an hour a week, be like on a Tuesday if I don't have whenever I don't have a person coming on Tuesday, it's going to be a random show. And I'd like to use this as one of the things to put in there. We can talk about recovery, and this is going to be a free forum in that I'm going to have sort of a topic, and then I'm going to pay close attention to the chat and really incorporate some of the comments coming back or questions that come in, and we can discuss some topics that you guys want to discuss, or you can give comments and questions regarding the subject that comes around. And so that's how I plan on doing this. I don't have an intro for it. I want to do it justice and try to put together some sort of intro for it. I didn't want to, like I said, I didn't want to use the other intro. Now, I have something here that I'm going to be opening. I just have to get the okay. So there is going to be a little bit of vape type material with this before the end of the show. I have a package here from England. This is from Miss Jane. Inside this package is something very, very exciting and something very, very awesome of Miss Jane. There's something in this package that is going to be available only to the Blackcatfam in limited quality. Not limited quality. It's going to be limited quantities. So that will be for you guys. Hey, Nick, what's up, man? How you doing? Nick Fenton in the house. How you doing, brother? Great to see you, man. So that will be open before the end of the show. My name is Scott. I am an alcoholic. I was an alcoholic. Most of you guys know my story. I was an alcoholic for about 25 years. I stopped drinking the first time in 2009, and I went for almost got 2 years. I went about 18, 19 months. About 19 months, I think, is what it ended up being, and fell off, and I fell off hard. And I went back out for 5 years, and then I got sober again in 2016. Oh, no, 2017. Second time I've gotten sober, and I've now got almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years in June. I don't count days. I really, really don't like counting days. I think that gets you in the mindset of small victories, and I like to look at it as a large victory, a marathon and not a race. And I think when you count days, for me, my mindset, the way that my mind works, I have to have everything done now. Like if something needs done, I need to do it now. Like there's no like waiting for it or anything. And I'm like that with everything that I do. And I think if I thought about it in days, then, which I think thinking about recovery in days is fantastic in the beginning. I really, really do. And I did do that for a while until I got to 6 months. And then I said, no, I'm 6 months, I'm 7 months, I'm 8 months. I think of it now kind of like like in months, and quite frankly, I think of it in years. I've got almost 2 years, and that's what I would say. And then next year I'll have, you know, a little over 2 years until I'm to the point where I have almost 3 years. So that's kind of how I think about it. You know, alcohol did a number on me. It really, really did. I had convinced myself that alcohol was the only important thing in my life. I had convinced myself of that, and I bought it wholeheartedly. I did not think that there was anything else in my life near as important, nor did I think there was anything I could do in my life that would be fun or enjoyable or worth my time that did not involve drinking. And I thought that way for a long, long, long time. And I was able to, a lot of us alcoholics, or a lot of us addicts, you know, not just alcoholics. I mean, alcoholic really is just a cheap drug addict. That's all we are. We're too cheap to try to do the good stuff. And I wholeheartedly believe that. Like, quite frankly, like if I had the money, I'd do, you know, the better drugs, but I didn't. You know what I mean? So I was just basically a cheap addict, and I used alcohol was the drug that I decided to use. But you know, I think a lot of us, we try to control our addictions, and you know, I think when you step into that ground, I'm looking over at the chat to see if anybody asks me a question, so I'll be peering over here while I talk to try to keep up on. But I think a lot of us, when you really start trying to control something, that is when you know you have a problem. And especially in this instance with addiction. And I did that. You know, I won't drink until the weekend, or I won't drink, you know. I could never control when I started drinking, I could never control it. I had to drink there. I had to drink as much as I possibly could until I passed out. Like, that was the only way that I could drink. And my mindset is still the same, whereas I can't understand how people can just have one drink. I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense to me. And when I take a drink, that switch turns off. Like, the ability to like think of that way is gone. Like, I can't even think that way now. So that's why, you know, when people say, well, you can't have just one drink. No, God, no, man. No, I can't. Because it may not be that day, but I'll get right back on it. I'll get right back on it. And I'm terrified of that. And I think that is, you know, fear is a very healthy thing for an addict, to have fear. Because I think that we can become very confident in our recovery. And I think that when you become very confident in your recovery, it's a very dangerous spot. You have to be fearful of it, and you have to be fearful that it'll come back at any time. So today, you know, I really wanted to talk a little bit about gratitude. I think it's so important. And I wanted to talk about being humble, and those two things. As an addict, I was never very humble. I would say that I had a complex where I actually thought that I was above people doing other things. I was above that. Like, oh, I can do that. Like, that's not a problem. I'm like, you know, they do that. I don't do that. And it went not just in with like addiction and things like that, but with everything. Like, I had this like superiority thing about me that, you know, I'm not going to get caught drinking, or not getting in trouble for drinking. I can do whatever I want. Like, I'm not going to die. Like, you know, it's not going to kill me. Like, I'm different than everybody else who dies of alcoholism. That's not going to hurt me. I can treat people the way I want to because I'm charming and slick. And when I drink, I'm super like, people liked me when I was drunk. We talked about last night at dinner. Like, my kids were telling me, yeah, you were a lot more fun when you were drunk all the time. I'm like, yeah. They're like, you were funny and fun. I'm like, yeah, I was. I bet you now that I tell you have to do fucking shit, you don't like that, do you? Like, now that I'm a responsible adult, you know, and a father, like, you don't like that, do you? No. So I was able to get away with it. And I had this thought of, where I was above other things. And you see it in a lot of addicts, and you see it in a lot of recovering addicts, and I see it in myself. And it's something that humbling yourself is really something, the only way that you can get away from that. And humbling yourself can be in a number of different ways. You know what I mean? You can humble yourself through like your physical actions, like, for example, volunteering, and you know, and going out and helping people, and you know, it's humbling. You know, go into a place where they're feeding the homeless and help them, and it's humbling because not only do you see like how bad life can actually get for people, but you know, you're doing things for other people that doesn't in any way, shape, or form benefit you. You're not getting paid for it. You know, you're not getting recognition for it. You know, but as an addict, I'll tell you I volunteered because I want you to give me that recognition. That's how my mind works. And, you know, so you are trying to get recognition still. Like, we're still imperfect people, right? And I admit that. And but, you know, humbling yourself can be in other ways too. Humbling yourself can be accepting your responsibility in an argument and saying you're sorry and admitting when you're wrong. And that's hard. That's really fucking hard to do. That's hard for everybody to do. To say, you know, I'm a dick. I was wrong. Fuck. I'm sorry. And like legitimately mean it. Not just I'm sorry so I can get away with something. Because that's how, you know, that's how I thought as an addict was I would use the word sorry to get away with something, to be manipulative with somebody. And that's how my brain thought. But saying sorry and legitimately feeling, you know, empathy for them and being like, yo, I'm fucked up. That can be extremely humbling to do for other people. Gratitude. Now, gratitude is the most important thing in my life, honestly. And it's something that it is so good to feel gratitude. It really, really is, because it is, it's, how you doing, Show and Tell Vapes? Everybody join Joey, Frank, Charles, Buddha. How you doing? Big G, Anarchy. Good to see you. Show and Tell said hey to you. Just looking at Tracy. How are you? Jane, how are you, hon? Great to see you. So, you know, gratitude, being grateful for things. It feels really good to be that way. It does for me. And I spent a lot of my life just expecting things because, you know, I'm Scott. Like, I'm just expected. Good things happen to me, which really doesn't. But I mean, you know, I had this complex about me, the way that I thought. And even little things like, you know, I'm like, okay, for example, like the YouTube stuff that I do and the response that I get and the people that watch me every day, like I have a huge gratitude for that. Like and my wife now and the little things that she does for me and the big things that she does for me, I have gratitude. I don't expect that anymore out of anyone. And I understand that they're making a conscious decision to do that for me or anything they do for me. My job, you know, I have gratitude for that. I used to complain every day about going to work and I still bitch about it. But you know what, man? I'm happy to have my job and I have gratitude that I can do that. I have gratitude. You know, I think a big thing that when you're healthy and you don't have a physical ailment that hinders you from doing anything, like don't take that for granted. Like be grateful that you don't have that. You know what I mean? Because then, you know, you go somewhere and you see somebody that's really, really in bad shape and you know, I used to think better of them than me, you know, fuck, I'm glad I'm not him. But now it's like I have gratitude. I'm like, God, thank God that's not, you know, I should be grateful that that is not something that has happened to me. And you have empathy and compassion for the person that's having a problem. You know, recovery isn't just not doing something. That's not what recovery is to me. You know, I'm speaking for me, not for you. But recovery is not just not doing something. Recovery is changing the way you think about yourself and the way you think about other people and the way you think about situations and things. It's taking more responsibility in your life. And that's another thing that I really, really want to talk about was, would you have been called a functioning alcoholic? If you didn't lose your job, house, etc. I never lost anything. I lost marriages. And I lost my child for a while. That's a big loss. Losing your child. The marriage was toxic, and it was probably best. But I was just as much to blame as my ex was. I was just as much to blame. Like I don't hold any. We really don't get along because of the situation, and I don't regret anything. Like I'm glad. Like my wife now, I'm very happy. Got remarried. But you know, I know a functioning alcoholic. It's hard to say. You know, some people don't believe in that. I typically kind of think of there are functioning alcoholics because I see them every day. But you know, you're really not functioning, you know, because all I did was drink and work. That was it, and sleep, pass out. That's all I did for a long ass time. That's all I did. And you know, that's not functioning. That's not living at all. And yeah, you may be functioning because I was paying bills. Like I never went in debt. I always had a job, you know, and that goes with that being able to manipulate people and being able to, like, you know, pull the wool over their eyes and where they didn't think I had a problem. Like nobody at my work knew I was an alcoholic. Nobody. That's crazy. And I go back and look at myself now. You see pictures, I'm like, Jesus, I look completely different. Like I look healthy and like alive now. Like, you know, I look old, you know, but I mean, I don't look sick, and I look sick all the time. Like my skin was turning like a yellowish gray. Like I look sick all the time. The alcohol had poisoned my body for so long that your body just can't fight it no more, man. It just starts giving up. And, so functioning, I wouldn't say I was. I would say that but it was going to stop. It was going to stop because you get to a point as an alcoholic that you just can't do it anymore, and you just have to drink all the time, and there's nothing else you can do about it. And I was at that point. So yeah, so that's where I was. Something else I wanted to talk about, and this is something that's really, really important. And I think this goes out to something from my experience to people that think they have a problem. Okay. This is what my advice is. If you, and I want to say this and I want to be gentle about it. I don't want to be that guy who comes out and yells at people, because that's not my intention, but I think it needs to be said. It's nobody's fault. I think a lot of addicts and alcoholics, we blame everybody else. We do. And we get away with it. And we play the victim, and we put, but we're really, when you boil down to it, we put ourselves in situations and we do things, and that's our responsibility. It's our fault. And you can't blame other people, that it's their fault. And when things start crumbling in your life and, you're to blame. You're to blame. You know what I mean? There's nobody else. Taking that responsibility is hard. And admitting that to yourself is fucking hard, because it hurts. It hurts to know that, to really accept it and be like, fuck, I fucked all this up. This is all my fault. There's no more people. There's nobody to blame but me. It can be a crumbling point for somebody in recovery. It really can. And, when you first get into it and you come out of that, you have to be able to accept it, but you also have to be able to move past that. And that's the key to it. The whole thing with recovery for me was, you start to feel better because you get, like in the beginning of your recovery, when you go through detox, you come out, I suggest a detox for anybody. Whether you're going to go to a rehab facility or whatever, go to detox. Get a medical detox if you can afford it and figure out a way to do it. I think a lot of places will pay for it even if you don't have means. Just go get a medical detox. Don't do it to your body because it's dangerous, especially alcoholics. Alcoholics, and if you're into benzos, it's very dangerous. You can fucking die. So you need to really be careful with it. I mean, I Googled hundreds of places that, things that said you can do detoxes on your own and all that. Now, I would suggest going to somewhere. But when you go into recovery and you come out of detox, you're feeling on top of the world because your body is starting to feel normal again. And you're starting to get you're starting to get hungry again. You spend so long not being hungry and just making yourself eat because you knew you had to. You know what I mean? I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. But when you come out of it, you start feeling hungry again. You start laughing again, start enjoying things again. You start to get your sex drive back. And that part of your life is starting to come back, because when you're drunk all the time, you don't have any sex drive, or you're high all the time, you don't have any sex drive. And that all starts coming back, and the feelings and emotions and all these good things start coming back. And you get what's called a purple cloud, or a pink cloud. Sorry, you get the pink cloud. And the pink cloud is like, you just feel great. And you're like, wow, this recovery stuff is really, really great. And it typically can last for a while, and it can come and go. But you have to be aware that you're going to get it. And you have to understand, even while it's happening, that, this is going to pass. And everything that I did I'm going to have to deal with. I'm not going to feel this way. Second part of that is when you start to come out of that, the days that were the toughest for me were days 30 through 90. Days 30 through 90 were the toughest because those were the days that everything had passed with the whole pink cloud thing. And I had to go back and face the reality of what was going on in my life and what the damage I had left. And I had to deal with it as a different person. I couldn't deal with it the way I had before. And that's true for anybody in recovery. You can't deal with stuff the way you used to, because the way that I used to deal with stuff is just fucking ignore it, blame the person, the problem, or just completely act like it didn't happen. Just like be oblivious to it, really. And that is not the way somebody in recovery can function, man. You have to be able to deal with it, and you have to deal with it as an adult and move forward. And it's hard, and you have to learn how to do that because it's not easy. Trust me, especially when you've been running for it for so long. I eat fat midgets, baby. I don't know what that means. All right, so that is but that's sex drive. But you have to be able to deal with these things, and it's not going to be easy because, you know, I say this all the time, but like when you come out of when you first come out, like if you go to rehab like I did, and you come out of rehab, you're like, hey, I'm fucking sober. Hey, Chessie, how you doing, hon? Good to see you. I know, Steven. I know you are, guys. Absolutely. But you're like, hey, I'm sober. Look at me. I'm fucking great. I look great. I feel great. I lost a bunch of weight. Look out. Everybody's like, yeah, you're a fucking dick. You know, you're still a dickhead, no matter what. And, you know, there's a lot of people in your life that will never, ever get past the stuff that you've done. And you have to accept that. And, but there's one person that can forgive you that's really, really important, and that's yourself. Forgive yourself. It happened in the past. Move forward. You can't do anything about the past. There's nothing you can do about it at all. And maybe the people will forgive you, maybe they won't. But that's on them. That's not on you. You have to take responsibility for the things you did. And by that, I mean, if you get in a situation, you know, you have to be willing to make an amends to someone. And I'm not trying to preach any like stuff to you about step programs or anything like that. But what I am saying is that if you do have interaction with somebody that you did something to, you have to be willing to be like, yeah, I did that and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Don't run from it, and don't, you know, put it off. You don't, you know, I'm not saying you go out and seek them, but if you come into a situation with somebody and it happens, family members that you're going to see, you just have to say, you know what, I'm fucked up. I'm sorry, and I'm trying not to be that person anymore. I'm trying my best, and I'm doing this to make sure that I don't do it again. That's all you can do. And sometimes I'll tell you to fuck off. Like I had a lot of people tell me to fuck off, a lot of people, and you know, and that's fine, you know, and I accepted it. I didn't get mad about it. I didn't sit there and get sad about it. I was just like, well, I completely understand that, and you know what? If I were you, I would feel the exact same way. So here's my apology, and if you don't accept it, that's fine. So yeah, I mean, it's hey, Perry Jackson, how are you, hon? Good to see you, Perry. That's a net blast from the past. I haven't seen you in a while. Hey, Megan, how are you, hon? Welcome. So I think that you know, that's what I wanted to focus on today was, you know, gratitude. Taking responsibility for your own actions, stop blaming other people, and you know, being humble. I think, you know, if you can build a foundation of recovery from those things, then I think that for me, it has made things a lot easier. And getting in a routine, that's another key for me. Is I got in a routine, and I have a routine now. And it basically takes up my entire day. And the days of sitting, you know, for a long time when I first got into recovery, I couldn't watch TV. And you know, I'd be standing like at the table, and just like people would be watching TV and talking and stuff, and I just wouldn't engage. And people would be like, "What's wrong?" I'd be like, "I can't sit and watch TV." Because it reminded me too much of the actions that I was doing. I would sit and drink and watch TV all day, you know? I mean, there's not you need a purpose, absolutely. But I would sit and watch TV all day, and I've watched every documentary you could probably ever imagine. I've seen it because I would sit and drink and watch them. And football and all that. Like, I didn't watch football for an entire year. Now, I probably maybe a couple games, like a halftime here, a halftime there, but not really sat down and watched it because I related that so much to drinking. And for somebody who is, you know, somebody who has who's an addict, of a different substance, say like an illegal narcotic, right? You know, you have these things that you did while you were using, whether it be to go to cop. Like some people say that going to cop is a you know, an addiction, the danger and all that, and I can understand that. I had stuff that I did that was dangerous, and like I got off on it. You know, it was an excitement for me. You know, put yourself in a situation that's really not good, but it becomes an addiction. It's that self-destruction that we just, you know, we get off on it. I think a lot of us do. And I don't know where that comes from. I really don't know where self-destruction comes from. But it's in us. And some of us have it, and some of us act on it, and some of us don't. But there's something about just a part of an addict that we are self-destructive. You know, we give up, you know, and I don't know what it is about it. I know that I have it. And that's something I have to keep in check. You know, I get here lately, I've, you know, since I've been away from alcohol for so long, I don't really think about, like, it doesn't faze me. Like yesterday after we did the volunteer thing, they all wanted to go to this bar. And I was like, I can't go to a bar. And they're like, you can't? And I was like, no, I'm fucking alcoholic. I was like, do you want me to get you all arrested? I can do that. I can go there and fucking drink the entire bar and then smash it up and get you all put in jail. They're like, oh no, well, we don't want that. I'm like, I didn't think so. So, I mean, I can, you know, you have to be able to create those type of boundaries for yourself and things like that. And there's going to be times that, you know, it's not going to be fun. And that's for sure in the old sense of the word. But having a thought of how bad it was and being able to move forward away from it is fantastic. And there's times now, and this is what I was getting at, I kind of lost my train of thought there. But what I was getting at is, like, lately, like, I've been thinking about alcohol and, like, you know, like, and that's dangerous. And that's when you need to, like I need to tell myself, like I am now, telling yourself, you know what I mean? Don't hold it back. Tell my wife. Be like, I'm thinking about drinking. She's like, you are? Why? I was like, I don't know. So I'm a fucking alcoholic. That's why. Like, my brain's fucked up. I can't help it. You know, and it's like, if, you know, somebody came to you and they're like, hey, you know what? Here's something. If you take this, it's going to ruin your whole fucking life. You like it? You want to try it? And you'd be like, yeah, that sounds fantastic. Ruin my life for me? Fucking A. That's what I want to do. But that's the way our brain thinks. We can't, like, I can't compartmentalize it. Like, I can't look at it and be like, that's bad. You know what I mean? Like, my brain doesn't work that way. So I have to do things. You know, and that's why I did the volunteer thing the other day. I was like, I got to do something, like, to fucking get me out of this. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You try something different, but you keep trying and trying to figure it out. And people say it'll be like something you deal with the rest of your life. It is. Like, I'll never, ever get past it. Like, there's still this part of me that thinks, like, I want to be that old man who's fucking drunk, like a drunk hermit in the woods somewhere. Woods. Maybe down this path. Take me down this path. I'll be right down there drinking. But there's part of my brain that thinks about that. Like, things get too bad. You know, I was going to the fucking woods. Just fucking live out there, you know. I'm a fucking hillbilly, you know. But, I mean, it's like you have to, that has to be something that you're able to come to terms with. And you have to be able to, like, you know, for me, it's like just talking about it. I don't hide that shit. Like, pretty much everybody that knows me knows I'm a fucking alcoholic. Everybody at work does. Like, I don't hide it. I talk about it. I'll talk about it in a group. I'll give a presentation, and if somebody, I'll fucking throw it out there. Like, I don't care, because I think that the more people that I tell, the more eyes I got on me to make sure that I'm not fucking doing it anymore. You know what I mean? I need help. Like, I need help from other people to not do it. And, you know, that was a great thing about doing Drop the Shame. All right, we got a question. Those people who are self-destructive are just punishing themselves. You know, I think that we all, you know, and that's another thing, Tracy, is you feel like you deserve it. And I think that's a feeling you got to let go. You got to let go of this feeling that you deserve for some reason to be punished, because you really don't. And that's where you have to forgive yourself. Forgiving yourself is huge. And that's the most important thing you can do, is forgive yourself. And that doesn't mean you take away from other people, you know, you don't take away their feelings or that they should be mad at you because of something you did. You absolutely validify, you know, you give, what's the word I'm looking for? You give, you know, you give them the respect of knowing why they're mad at you and understanding it and being sorry. But at the same time, you have to be like, I forgive myself for it, because if you don't, man, it'll drive you fucking crazy. It'll absolutely drive you crazy if that's what you decide. If you decide to live like that, if you decide to carry that and try to be clean or sober, it's hard. And I'll tell you, I don't know. I don't know if that's a long. I don't think you could do it for long. I really, really don't. Because there's a lot of things that I did, that I regret, that I hurt people bad, and like I shouldn't. But I have, those fleeting moments where I think of that and it just like grinds you in the pit of your stomach where you're just like, fuck, god damn, dude, what the fuck did I do that for? And then they pass and I let it go. And I have a cop out with it as well. I was like, well, I was sick. I was fucking sick. And I think I give people that a lot of times when people do something absurd. I just think to myself, they're sick. Oh, shit! Pal 702 says, keep fighting the good fight. 11/21/16 was my last drink. Took me 4 tries, 3 rehabs in 7 years. My channel helped save my life. Amen, pal. Mine too, man. Mine too, brother. Congratulations on that. That's fucking awesome, man. Your sober date is about 6 months ahead of mine. Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah, mine was 17. Mine is 6/20/17 is my sober date. Yeah, so we're about the same, man. I was an alcoholic. I'm an alcoholic too. You're an alcoholic? Ah, I'm an alcoholic too. Pal, thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate that, brother. I love you, man. Thanks. I didn't know you were in recovery. I had no idea. I didn't know that. So that's cool, man. A lot of us are. A lot of us who have quitting alcohol and drugs and stopping smoking go hand in hand. And I smoked a lot before I quit. I actually quit about a year before I stopped drinking because one of my best friends died from, I've told this story, died of lung cancer. I sat there and watched him die. It was awful. I didn't quit immediately. I waited about another month and a half and then I quit. No, I smoked for about another 8-9 months after that, and then I quit. But, there's a lot of us who are in this community. I think it's a very high percentage of people in this community that are in recovery, a very high percentage. There's a lot of us who've slipped. There's a lot of us who've slipped, too. Yeah, there is a lot of us, man. There's a lot in the chat right now who did. Yeah. All day, every day, and nobody knew. And that's the thing, pal. Morning to midnight, every day. And sometimes we'll be sitting up on a Sunday, and the wife and I we have a Sunday routine. We get up and we'll bullshit for a little bit. We get up pretty early. We get about 6:30, 7 o'clock, and we'll sit and bullshit for a little bit, and then we go see my dad. My dad's elderly, so we'll go see him for a couple hours. Just go out to lunch, and we have this routine, and I think about it often. We'll be sitting there, it'll be like 9 o'clock, and we'll be having breakfast and all that, and I'll be thinking, wow, I'd already have like a 6-pack down, easy. If I could get it, and I would, I had beer all over my house. Every alcoholic knows this. I had beer and alcohol all over my house. Basement, room, bed, under the bed, next to the bed, in the bed, top of the bed, around the bed, pissed on the bed, everywhere. There's beer everywhere. So, it's like, I had I'd excuse myself. I had some in the bathroom, I'd have a bottle in there or whatever. Like typically a bottle in the bathroom is really nice. Go to the bathroom. Well, I got to go to the bathroom. It's like 6:30 in the morning. You can go in the bathroom and fucking pound like a half liter of vodka. Come back out. You're fucking, hey, you're fucking ready for the day. But, so I thought about that and I thought, wow, it's 9 o'clock. And I think this sometimes. I'm like, hey, 9 o'clock. I'd be fucking wasted by now. Like I would be wasted on a Sunday morning, 9 o'clock. Like, and now I'm not. And it's overwhelming to think like the fucking misery that would ensue through that. Like it's not fun. It's not fun at all. There's nothing fun about it. There's nothing good about it at all. Yeah, I got the love from all you guys who understand, have been through this. Yeah. Still in this, yep. I remember trying not to throw up my first drink in the morning. Yeah, you throw the first one up and you get the second one down. That was how I did. I would always drink in the shower. I'd jump in the shower in the morning, and I'd put 2 beers on the counter, like next to my shower, And I would chug the first one and throw it up, and I would chug the second one, and I'd be able to keep it down. Because basically how my interpretation of that was that my body was fiending for alcohol so badly. Like I'd be shaking and like have you ever seen Leaving Las Vegas? Like when Nick Cage wakes up from his nap and he hadn't drank in like 8 hours, and he's like I'd be like that. I feel like that guy. And yeah, so I would pound one and puke it back up. And I always thought about it, well, my body is still taking in some of that alcohol, even though I threw it back up. So I was like, my body, and then I'd feel better. Like I'd be like, oh, the alcohol's starting to absorb into my bloodstream. That's how I'd think, like stupid like that. And the next beer, I'd chug the next beer and I'd be on. I feel great. I come out of the shower and, 2 beers down, feel great, go right to the fridge, pound one, stand at the fridge, grab another one. And that's a good time to go to the bathroom. I go to the bathroom for a little bit and fucking drink, like sitting there like an asshole. Like my wife didn't know it was there. She knew it was there, but it's what can you do when you're living with an alcoholic, man? It's hard. So, oh, Perry, we forgive you. I'm glad you're back, Perry. In front of the sink, 3 little bottles of Sutter House Chardonnay. Yeah, wine was good. That wine was a good one because they're easy to conceal. Get the day started and a dozen of those little bottles on me all day slamming them. Yeah, I used to buy there's this stuff called Parrot Bay. You ever heard of Parrot Bay? It's Parrot Bay. It's up here in Ohio, and they're little like airplane bottles, and they're 40 proof, and they come in these god awful flavors. They're awful, but I would always get the pineapple. That was the only one coconut. I'd get the coconut. It had coconut, pineapple, and I would call them. I'd talk to them. I'd be like, "Give me some blue tops," because it's a place I always went. They give me I get like 4 blue tops, and I'd always have them in my pockets or in my car. Like you'd open my car up, and I'd have like booze and like beer, like everything all piled. Like if I got pulled over, the cops would just start laughing. They'd be like, "What the fuck?" Like I never got pulled over. I don't know why. I never did. Fucking lucky, man, because I was hammered. I would get, on the way home from work, my favorite thing on the way home from work, on days that I wouldn't drink at work, because there'd be days I wouldn't drink at work. Like if I had to give a big presentation or I had to do something I couldn't drink. And I wouldn't. And that was, I was able to control it for a few hours. And I would, on the way home, I would stop and buy those 32, the big bottles, the big things of Mike's Harder Lemonade. I think they only come in 16s. No, I think they do have a 20-ounce Mike's Harder Lemonade. Now, let me tell you something. Mike's Harder Lemonade will fucking kick your ass. That shit's strong, and I would chug them on the way home. Driving down the road, just pound them. Like, how irresponsible and silly is that? And I laugh about it, now, because I didn't hurt anybody. God, I mean, hurting myself would be one thing. Hurting somebody else would have been, I wouldn't have been able to live with that, thank God. But, yeah. Seven. Yeah. Is Zen Divine here, Nick? Nick, there he is. How you doing, man? Good to see you. Nick's another guy been on Drop the Shame with us. So this whole show, this After the Shame show, what it's going to evolve to, it's going to be me just talking about recovery with the chat. I want it to be a conversation. I have a tendency to kind of talk at you guys and not have a conversation, and I don't mean to do that, but this is how I do. So I want this to be more of a conversation. Again, I'll bring a couple topics, but what ultimately this is going to be is it's going to evolve into me and another person, or me and a rotating person coming on. And so that's ultimately what I want to do with this, and I think it'll be good. I don't know if it will stay at the 5 o'clock time. It may move to a different time, but I see the show starting to grow a little bit, and that's why I didn't make it. I didn't make it the Vape at 5 because it's not. I don't have my sponsors up. I don't have the BlackCat stuff up. Like this is Scott. This is not like the BlackCat thing, even though it's still goofy and stupid. But it's a different thing for me. I want it to be kind of viewed that way. It's for the vape community, but it's not just for the vape community. I mean, I'm in the vape community and I care about this community very, very much. But this is for everybody in recovery. It's not just for that. Hey, Randy. Philly Vape, how you doing? Mailman 2, how you doing? Ian Thomas, how are you, brother? Bristol Vapor, good to see you. Tony Barry, Charles McLaren, Fucking Baron's in the house. Clint, what's up, Clint? How you doing, brother? Great to see you. Nick Fenton, once a month. Nick, I'm thinking about twice a month. I'm thinking about twice a month would be good. That's what I'd like to do. Same as Drop the Shame. I'll tell you, I think I could stop doing the Vape at 5, and I'd probably get a couple messages. But God, I got a lot of messages about Drop the Shame. A lot of messages, and a lot of messages on lives. Hey, man, when are you gonna start bringing back Drop the Shame? And so hey, Brian Feeney, how are you, sir? Yeah, so I think it'll be great, and I think it's great for me, and I think, the Drop the Shame thing really helped me in my recovery. It really did. I mean, I credit my YouTube and Drop the Shame with staying where I'm at, because I feel a responsibility. I do, and that's a good thing for an alcoholic to feel, an addict to feel, is responsibility, responsible to other people. Now, I'm responsible to my family, obviously. And now I'm responsible to you guys to stay strong. You know what I mean? I always say at the end of the show, stay strong. I promise I will too. It's like that, just that next day, I'm going to stay strong for these next hours till I see you in the next show. That's what that means. And, that to me is a lot. That to me is a lot, man. That means a lot to me. And I say it like, I don't just say it, I mean it. Like, that's what my idea of, and it helps me. It helps put things in perspective, and it gives me that goal of, getting back. Because I couldn't imagine, like, coming on the show and being drunk. I can't imagine it. And yeah, I'm sure you guys can't either. It'd be awful. I'm awful. Like, it'd be awful. And I just couldn't see doing that. So. We did bring it back. We had a show about a month ago now. It had been about a month ago. We had one in January. Then we missed the next one, and then we didn't do one last week. So, yeah, I don't know where it's going to go. So, figured I needed to do something. Thank you, Cody. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Yeah, so I don't know. I didn't know the, that is not, the Drop the Shame show was never intended ever to be like a show that only Yeti and I did, just so you know. That was never the intention of it. The intention of it was for us to do it for a while and then somebody else to pick it up and start doing it again. And I'm still under that 100%. That is my feeling of the show. The Drop the Shame was its own thing. But at the same time, I don't feel right doing it if Yeti's not going to do it. Or I'm not saying he won't do it, but just saying, I'm not going to just put it on my channel and be like, I'm Drop the Shame now. Like, I'm just not doing that. That's fucking weak, and that's not cool, and I'm not doing that. Because that's Yeti's and mine. It's like ours. You know what I mean? Like, you can't. Now, the After the Shame thing was kind of something that we talked about and everything, and I feel more comfortable with that because that was kind of my idea, and I was like, hey, let's do Drop After the Shame, and he was all for it. But I think it's a good follow-up to Drop the Shame, and I think that it can run with Drop the Shame. I think Drop the Shame can be done, and you could have After the Shame, and it kind of work together. You know what I mean? As a team. So that's kind of how I see that. Philly says, if you ever need someone to come talk to about recovery, just shoot me a message. Absolutely. There's a lot of us, man. Started drinking in high school. This is from TWDC. The world doesn't care. I started drinking in junior high. Mad Dog 2020. Fuck yeah. Kiwi lime. Ugh. Grape. What was the grape one? Fuck. Oh, God, it was awful. You should chug that shit. Fuck you up. Night Train. By 21, I was drinking Hennessy Fists to face the weekend. Yeah. I was never a cognac guy. I like cognac. I've had some, but I was more of a, I liked whiskey and I liked bourbon a lot. Jim Beam I liked a lot. And rum. I drink a lot of rum because it was cheap. Bacardi rum is really high quality rum, in my opinion, and it was cheap. And then I switched to Smirnoff, and that's the devil, man. Smirnoff's the fucking devil. God almighty. Whoo, man. You get fucking, whoo, man. It was awful. That's what really got me. Drinking vodka was what really, really, really started taking its toll on me. That stuff is because you can drink it so easy. You can drink it so easy, but it hits you hard when you. And there's a huge difference to anybody who's an alcoholic. There's a huge difference between 80 proof and 100 proof, like an unbelievable difference. And there's a lot of nights just chugging 100 proof vodka and just fucking out of it. Yeah, Jack Daniels. I was never a Jack Daniels guy. Never I drink it. I mean, I drink anything. I drink mouthwash in the morning. You know, you brushing your teeth with and use mouthwash. You don't know how bad they'll fuck your dude. Drinking mouthwash is terrible. I was in rehab with a guy. That's what he drank. He drank mouthwash to get drunk, and it fucked you up. Yeah, I would always drink my mouthwash in the morning to like give myself a little bit of a pep before I went to work. That and a couple of those little Parrot Bay things. 100 proof is no joke, Steven. It is. It's a huge difference between 180. 180 proof versus 100 proof, completely fucking different. Yeah, I smoke Newports too. Yeah, that's a great cigarette. Newports are a fucking great cigarette, man. They're very strong. For an alcoholic, you want a strong cigarette. That's the way I felt. And Newports are very strong. They're expensive though. Fuck, they're like $1 more than Marlboros. $1 more than like Camels. They're like $1.50 more. Winston's are like $2. Winston's are cheap. You guys all know this. You're all ex-smokers. You know this shit. I never did the hand sanitizer, Nick. I never thought of it. I would have. I never thought about doing that, though. I saw that on a... They do a great job over there at Newport. I don't know who makes them. If Newport makes them or whoever makes them, but I love the cigarettes, man. Newport King. Shorts. Newport shorts. Really dedicated. Do a great job. They love you smoking, don't they? Yeah, man. I'm with you, dude. Yeah. Pal, I think I think you being sober is your own decision. I think in the community, I'll answer that question in two parts. One, I think you being sober is your own. You getting sober your way. If you're not, whether it be, a narcotic, or it be alcohol, or it be whatever. You getting sober is your thing. And if smoking marijuana is your thing to help you not do that, I don't think. Now, I do think that, and I've talked to my kids about this because my kids smoke marijuana, and I'm like, you need to take like a month off and let your brain clear out. Because I think that prolonged use, I think I think they're, it'll dim you a little bit. And it'll dim your memory and things like that. And I don't want them getting like me because my memory is fucked. It's fucked from years of alcohol abuse. And I don't want them getting like me. It's a scary thing. It's scary. I mean, I deal with it and I understand it, but I think that I don't think marijuana has any long-term effects like that, destroying your memory, but certainly in the short term, as you compound it, because what happens with narcotics and alcohol and marijuana and all that is it stays in your system. It has a half-life, right? So it stays in your system. So you're just constantly building up. You're not ever letting it completely get out of your system. And letting your body kind of be without it for, a week or 2 weeks or whatever. And then, you're just constantly feeding that and it just keeps building up and up and up. And the side effects of it are starting to take great compound up, like, I don't know if that makes sense, but that's kind of how I think about it. Why you need to take a break away from something like that. Yeah. And that's another thing about Newports. You can't smoke any other cigarettes because they're not strong enough. Fuck, man, I'd crush it. Like, you give me a Marlboro or, like, a fucking Winston, it was nothing. Like, I need, like, 2 or 3 of them. Yeah, and with his deer-killing cock. That's right, Charlie. My son did kill a deer. Not with his cock, with bow and arrow. Son of a bitch killed one with a bow and arrow. You believe that shit? Yeah. Like, fucking, what's that guy's name? What's the guy, Ball Bunyan? That guy. And his fucking blue ox. Babe. Oh, before sleep. Yeah, I don't think that that's a problem. I choose not to, because I don't feel responsible enough to be able to do it. Because I know that the way that I am, that if I were to use THC or marijuana, that I would overdo it. I would overdo it. Yeah, I'd be like a weed connoisseur, and I just don't want to do it. I just can't afford it. It's expensive. But I don't think there's anything wrong. I think your recovery is your recovery. And, that's one thing that I've talked to a couple guys, and I'm not going to give out names, but I've talked to a couple guys who use marijuana in their recovery, and it works very well for them. And I think that if it works for them, then why are they wrong? And I also think that the recovery community can be kind of judgy. they can be kind of judgy, like every community is. And I think that they need to fuck off. You know what I mean? Being judgy, you know, because you're just a drunk like me. That's why I used to think in a lot of the meetings and shit, people be in there all, you know, bolstering and shit, doing straight alcohol, straight addict behavior, bowstring and talking about how great they are. I'm like, dude, you're just a fucking drunk like me. You ain't no different than me. Don't get, you know, don't get thinking you are, because you're not. So, you know. Yeah. Heroin, crack, yeah. Daniel Boone, I don't know, Perry. Daniel Boone, is that Daniel Boone? Who's the other guy? I don't know. All right, so I promised you a surprise. So you're gonna fucking get a surprise whether you want it or not. I have a package here. Whoa, wait a minute. No, I'm not gonna do the vape mail thing. I got a package here from across the ocean. This is from Miss Jane Dodd. Make sure you can't see. Oh, cover that. I can't see where she lives. Jane Dodd! Now, in this package is something extremely special for the Black Cat fam. Let me grab some scissors. Or my knife. We're going to stick with scissors this time. I'm not going to get the knife out. I'm not feeling that daring today. Remember that one time I rolled over? Do you guys remember this? I rolled over there and the chair fell and I fell on the ground. And I was like raising my hand like, I'm here! Okay! You guys remember that? Fucking idiot. Chair fell right over. Almost fell that time. That's why I remember. I felt it jump. Oops. All right, here we go. We're gonna open it up and see what's in the bag here. Straight from England. Straight from the Englands. All right, this is gonna be something very, very special. Ooh, another package. Ooh, and a third package. Holy cow! Jane was not messing around when she sent this. All right, I'm gonna rip this open. Oh, there's little 4 bottles in here. 4 bottles. So. Of course, she like tapes everything together. Jane taped everything together. Hold on. Let me get this apart. Hold on a second. All right. Inside here, we have 4 different versions. This is the first time you guys are ever going to see it. First time. So here it is. The Cat Whiskers E-Juice. This is Shytots Black Cat White Face inspired. Focus, you bitch. Fucking won't focus. Focus, you fuck. Remember that guy? 4 versions. Now, Black Cat, me. I got to pick out which one I like best. Here's the second one. Focus, you fuck. Really? Come on. There, it's kind of focused. Cat's Whiskers E-Juice. These are big bottles. Jane did it. There's version 1, version 2, and version 3. So I have 4 different versions of the Cat's Whiskers E-Juice. Really fucking excited about this, guys. I'm going to try all 4, and whatever one I like the best is the one that we're going to pick. Jane worked relentlessly, tirelessly on creating this E-Juice for us, and this will be only available to the Black Cat fam. So we're not going out for mass distribution. So it'll probably go into giveaways and shit like that from the show, things like that. But we'll be able to get it now. I believe I can't. I gotta. What time is it? 54. I want to do it. Should we wick it? Let's do it. We're gonna re-wick it. We're gonna try one real quick before we get out of here. Let's do that. Scissors. And need some tweezers. And I need a towel. There's a towel. So let's use that. Oh, here's a real towel. Let me grab that. All right. We're going to re-wick it. Now, it's on a squonk, but I'm going to drip it because I have consequence in here. So I can't actually use it. But we're going to pull this cotton out. I'm going to grab me another cotton thread and re-wick it. Now, tomorrow, I'm going to be reviewing the Bonza RDA. So, if you want to see a review on it, I got a good review for it. I used it for about 2 weeks. So I think I'll be able to give you guys some pretty decent information on the Bonza. All right, get those off of there. Burn that off. How do you like those coils? Those are what I call the new-news. There we go. All right, pour out any extra juice that's in there. Look at that. All right, let's take a little water. Put a little cap full of water on there to kind of cool them off, clean them up. There we go. Get that off of there. Kind of doing this makeshift since I don't have a sink I can stick it under. Make sure you clean your mod off. You don't want any water getting on your mod. Look at that. Well, one side looks like it's burning more than the other. All right. That is how the BlackCat does things. That's how I clean my mods. No. All right, clean that up. All right, set that to the side a bit. Let me get these cotton out of here. Grab me some more cotton threads. Should have 2 in here. I do. I love cotton threads. They are so fucking easy to use, guys. All right. Let's go ahead and wick this up. And we're going to try version 1 is what I'm going to vape tonight. Let's see how I like it. Don't tell me you're not fitting. There we go. You little bitch. Bastard. Right there. Get this one through here. All right, there we go. Super easy to wick this thing. I mean, this RDA is really, really easy to use. Cut that there. Cut these off here. All right. A little long. I'm gonna cut it a little more. Clean it. Get this fluffed out a bit. My fluff game. All right. Throw those away. The acklets. That's what you call them. The little strings on the all right, perfect. Let's tuck this away. These coils have seen better days. There we go. Put that down in there. That right there. All right, there we go. All right, let's grab version 1 and give it a spin, shall we? Let me clean the cap out a little bit. Any extra residue on there? Drop my drip tip. Where'd it go? I'll never find it. I fucking lose things all the time. Where'd my drip tip go? Son of a bitch. Oh, there it is. I'll be right back. Don't mind me. I'm just leaving the show. All right. Got my... Whoa! You almost saw another fall. I'm telling you, I'm trying to kill myself over here. All right, let's grab version 1. There it is. Version 1. Give it a nice shake. Don't look me in the eye when I do this. All right. Here we go. Version 1. All right, here we go. The first taste of version 1 of the cat's whiskers. It smells really good. It smells buttery. Is what it smells like. It smells buttery. Yeah, these bottles are nice, Charlie. Paint those coils, Tracy. You're goddamn right. That's how I do around here. All right. If it tastes like urine, you win best prank. I hope it doesn't taste like urine. It doesn't. It smells buttery. That's the smell I get from it is butter. Now I know it's a custard. Okay. I'm getting like a really buttery custard. Is what I'm getting. It's good. It's good. This is a good one. I can't tell what else I'm getting, though. I think it's because I was vaping the other stuff too long. I want to say, okay, so here's what I taste. I want to say there's mint in it. I want to say there's something minty in it. Minty in it. There's something minty in it. Because I can taste like a really strong buttery custard, and I taste like mint. Some kind of mint. Maybe not pepper. Maybe peppermint? Like a little peppermint in there? Jane, is that what you did? You put a little peppermint in there? A little menthol? That's what I'm getting. I don't know what exactly that flavor is. Now, Jane uses really unique flavors. So I don't know what that flavor is, but it almost tastes like a little bit of mint is what I'm getting. Fresh wick. Now, I got to wick it again for the second one, but I'm not going to do that tonight because it's already 6 o'clock. And I can hear dinner being made upstairs. All right, guys. Well, I'll tell you what. Fantastic show, guys. I appreciate everybody for tuning in today for After the Shame, guys. You guys are the best. It's Newport. It's not Newport. I vape Newport out of a Hercules 2 tank for a long time. Out of a Hercules tank at like 120 watts. Newport flavor. Ooh. Oh, I gotta make sure I don't squonk it. I should take the squonk bottle out. That's what I should probably do. Because I'll end up squonking it and ruin it. Oh, good, Jesse. Enjoy that, girl. Shape of those e-juice bottles. Just saying. Rule 17. Well, I don't know what Rule 17 is. Right. So, I'll be vaping version 1 tonight. That is what I'm doing tonight. Tomorrow, I'm going to do the Bonza RDA review. So, I'll re-wick it again, and I'll do version 2 tomorrow. So, doing version 1 tonight. I'll be taking feverish notes all over the place. I'm taking all kinds of notes to make sure that I get exactly what is in this stuff. You know, it's a custard. That's all I know. I know it's a custard. Jane would probably be much better at telling you exactly what the profile is. We talked about a lot of different flavors. We settled on a custard, but not just a regular custard. We didn't want to make a regular one. We wanted to make it a little unique. Hence, the reason I'm getting a little mint flavor in there, which I don't think there's any mini custards. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't know the exact flavor profile. I don't. I just know about a bunch of ideas we kicked around. We kicked around like salted caramel and stuff like that, and we kicked around different flavors that I like. You know, I really like Mont Blanc from her. Mont Blanc is one of my favorite vapes of all time, and so I don't know. It's not. I hope it's not. You know, it's gonna be something like close to that probably. Hey, Juan. Buttermint, maybe buttermint custard. Maybe. Is that a thing? Buttermint? It could be. It's definitely got some, it's got like some kind of mint or something in it that I taste. It's probably not mint though. Oh, this cap I can't get on. That's not nice. Here it is, I got it. The thing about this Bonza is you can just drown it. It will not leak. It's one of the best things about it. And it's got honeycomb airflow, which is fucking awesome. Definitely mint. Now I'm getting it. Now I'm getting the mint. Yeah, there's definitely, I don't know what flavor that is. But it's unique. It's unique. That's for sure. Buttermint. Yeah, it could be it. Buttermint. Drip it onto your tongue, says Steven. Well, no. I'm not doing that. I don't know if there's any nicotine in this. 0 milligrams. So there's no nicotine in it. So I can vape as much as I want. Not get nicotine. Do a knuckle test. Okay. Do a knuckle test. I can do that. Yeah, it's mint. I taste the mint. Definitely. I don't know what kind of mint it is, though, but I can fucking taste it for sure. I don't think it's licorice. That's not what I'm tasting. I'm not tasting licorice. Is Jane here still? Jane might have left. She probably doesn't know I did this. She's probably like, why'd you do that? Floral mint. Cool mint. Maybe cool mint. All right, so what we're going to do. Look at these coils. That's the new. That's the new I worked on for a while. I finally figured it out. These are fucking nice. nice. You're fucking angry. All right, let me vape this. Let me clean this off. Vape it a couple times. Make sure it's clean. She said your taste buds are fucked. I'm not telling you till we settle. All right, so that's one. I'm gonna try two now, Jane. I'm gonna try two. So here's version 2. Oh shit! Wait a minute. That one. That was version 2. That was version 2. Oops. Oh wait a minute. Fuck. Oh fuck. I did version 1. Then I did version 1 and version 2. I fucked up. Oops. So I don't know which is which. Hold on. Let's go back to version 1. Hold on. Let's knuckle test that, shall we? Knuckle. I know that taste. That tastes like bourbon. Okay, so I was doing version 2. So let's do version 1, shall we? Yeah, so version 2 is mini. That's minty. I'm gonna set that one over here, minty. Put a label on it. I tasted bourbon in this one. Thought we talked about that, Jane. Thought we talked about. Do you know I'm an alcoholic, Jane? Nah, I dodged bourbon. Okay, so here's version 1. I can't place that taste. I can't place it. I don't know what it is. I can't place that taste, but it's unique. How do you guys like the name? Cat Whiskers. I voted against that. She's like, fuck you. It's Cat Whiskers. It's like, I like it. That's what it's going to be. I was like, oh. I wanted to name it like Cougar. Cougar. Black Cat White Face Cougar Juice. Panther Juice. That's what I want to name it. No, I'm kidding. All right, guys, I do have to get out of here. I'm going to go upstairs and eat some dinner. I'm fucking starving. Cat Whiskers, that's cool, right? All right, so I'm going to vape version 1 tonight. I'm taking it upstairs, Jane. Lovely, Jane. I love you. All right, guys, love you guys. Hope you guys have a fantastic night. Tomorrow on the Vape 5, you're going to see me review the Bonds. It's going to be fantastic. Probably the best review you've ever seen in your life. Might be. Could be. It's going to be a review like no other. I used it fucking long enough. I should know enough about it. All right, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow on the Vape 5. If you're in recovery, stay strong. I promise I will, too. Tonight, what do you have on tonight? Nick's not on. Nick's not doing lives this week. It says ST. I believe ST's on, so watch him. I'll be in the chat. See you guys later.